Hey first grade friends, it's Mrs. Herbay. Today's the day where we're going to finish up our winter bird art project that we started before our winter break. So what you're going to need today is you're going to need your background that you created, and then you're going to need any birds that you drew. So you haven't cut out the birds yet, or maybe you did, but if not, today we're going to do that step. So grab your winter birds and grab your background. Also grab a pair of scissors and a glue stick, and then we'll get started. Okay, so for the first part, we're going to cut out our birds. And a lot of times friends are like, oh, I don't know, I get too nervous with cutting. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bubble around the outside of our bird, which means we're going to cut around, but we're going to leave some space around our bird so that we now only have a little bit of paper to deal with. And what we can do is we can pick a side to start with our bird, and we're going to hold our scissors facing forward, and we're going to put our piece of paper all the way to the back of the mouth of our scissors, okay? And then we're just going to make little chomps. I'm not going to close my scissors all the way. It's in the back. I'm holding the paper with the opposite hand as the scissor, and I'm just closing a little bit, and I'm using my extra hand to turn the paper. Now, oops, I got to the end here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the paper but leave the scissors facing where they are, and then I'm just going to cut until I reach the end. Boom. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now start on this end, and so I'm going to cut around, and then I'm going to use my hand here. See how I turned that paper all the way around, and the paper's in the back of the mouth of my scissors, and then I'm just opening and closing, and then there was a little curve there, so I turned it. Now I'm going to turn it back, and boom. Then I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to come down and turn, and then I'm to the beak, so now I'm going to turn the paper this way and snip. Then I'm going to start here. I'm going to snip, turn, and then finish up like that. So there, my cardinal is now cut out. Now, if you have any other birds, I want you to cut those out too, and then we'll talk about arranging our birds. All right, guys, now I have my birds cut out. So I have 3 different examples. You may have only done one bird, and one bird is fine. You might have done 2, maybe 3, and it doesn't matter how many birds you drew. But now we're going to think about arranging them. So if you have more than one bird, you might think about where do you want these birds to be perching. And before, when we were drawing our birds, we talked about how we weren't going to draw the bird's feet until after we glued them onto our paper. So you want to try to locate your bird near a branch so that when we come down and draw the bird's legs, that the legs are attached to the branch. All right, so I'm looking here, and I think I like, and it's okay if your birds are kind of coming off the edge of your paper. It's also okay if you want to fit them all the way onto your paper. It's totally up to you. And then if, let's say, the bird was kind of this way, perched, then the legs would be kind of attached like right here onto the side of this branch. Or if it was on this flat branch, the bird's body would be more like this, and we would draw the legs down like that. So you can kind of decide how you want your birds. I kind of like my blue jay kind of up here, and I might have him kind of attaching to the edge here, and I kind of like my cardinal down here. Maybe I won't use this white bird right now. So once you decide on your layout, what you're going to do is you're going to turn your bird over, And most friends usually just put a little bit of glue in the middle and then slap something down. But we don't want to do that because we want all of the bird to be glued to the paper. So what I like to do is outline my entire bird with my glue stick. So I'm going around the outside edge of all my bird. Then I'm just going to kind of fill in the middle. And then I'm going to put this where I had thought it was a good idea. So I have my bird here. And then I'm going to take my blue jay and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to turn this blue jay over and I'm going to outline the whole bird. And then I'm going to stick my blue jay down. And once my birds are stuck down, then what I'm going to do first is I'll take my pencil, and the bird's legs, usually they start under the body here. So I'm going to draw a line down like that, and then I'm going to draw like a 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to draw a shorter line there and make 3 little curves right there like that. And then what you can do is you can take your crayon, or if you have a colored pencil, and then you can draw in the legs. All right. And then on this one, since this blue jay, I'm going to kind of have it attached to the side here like that. And then I'll take my crayon and I'm gonna, oops, that's not my black. Here's my black. And then I'm not going to draw that third one because I have a pine needle right here, and it's kind of, I'll assume that that's kind of behind the other little part of his foot. And there we have it. Now, if let's say you didn't have white paint and you didn't get to put snow in the background of your picture, you can also now, if you happen to have a white crayon, that works. It's not quite as dark as the white paint, but it works if you wanted to draw snowflakes, or if you have a white colored pencil. It also makes nice. And if you wanted to get really fancy, you could even make some of the snowflakes a little bit fancier like that too, if you wanted to. So there you have it. You are all done. And when you finish, you can take a picture and then upload it to the assignment link on the Canvas page. If this doesn't take you very long and you're looking for something else, another thing that you can do is you can grab this deer. This is actually a reindeer or a male deer picture that I sent home with you guys before the winter break. And what you can do is, just like we did back when we had the squirrel, fill a squirrel with pattern, that was sort of a fun activity, we can practice filling this reindeer with shapes or patterns. And how you might go about doing that is, first you would, let's say if I want to take this first antler here, what I would do is I'm going to take my black marker or my Sharpie, and I'm just going to kind of divide that into a section. And then once I do, I'll decide what type of line or shape I want to fill that section with. And I think for this antler part, I'm just going to do some curved lines inside of here. And then where they kind of meet up, just gonna do like boom, boom. I'm just kind of overlapping some curved lines. Just like that. So there's one part. Then what I can do is I can sort of divide off part of the other antlers, and then maybe in this antler I want to do swirls. So I would then go ahead and fill that up with swirls. When it comes to the face, maybe I want to divide up part of the face, like so I would draw a line here, and maybe I want to draw a line right there. So now I have this section to draw a pattern in. So maybe I'm going to draw some wavy lines. So I have that section right there. Then maybe I want to draw a couple lines like that, and then I can fill the ear with something. Maybe the ear I just want to fill with different circles. And then maybe I want to draw a line there. And maybe I want to do diagonal lines that way. And then diagonal lines that way. And so you can keep going. You can also think about a design you might want to do for the scarf. And another thing you can do is if you want, let's say you wanted to do a background, you could draw a horizontal line that kind of goes across the back of your picture. And maybe you want to include a whole background scene of what's going on as well. So that's just kind of an extra fun little activity. Once you add the pattern, you can also add colors. And this is just something that extra you can do if when you do your birds, it doesn't take you very long and you feel like some more art this week. So I can't wait to check in with you guys this week to hear how your winter break was, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon.